At Plan to Protect, our priority is abuse prevention and vulnerable sector protection. By equipping your team with effective and customized policies, procedures, and training, our goal is to make your community a safe one. Plan to Protect provides the highest standard of protection, meeting the insurance company demands for abuse coverage and demonstrates duty of care. Once an organization achieves the standard, they will proudly display the Plan to Protect Seal of Excellence. Parents and guardians will soon seek out camps, recreation centers, schools, churches, and daycares that proudly display that they have achieved the standard of Plan to Protect. In 2014, a study published by the Canadian Medical Association Journal found that 32% of Canadians had experienced physical abuse, sexual abuse, exposure to domestic violence, or a combination of these while they were young. In the United States, the National Child Abuse Neglect Data System collects and analyzes annual data on child abuse and neglect. In 2014, it was reported more than 2.9 million children were in need of prevention services. There were 3.6 million referrals to child protection agencies, representing 6.6 million children reported by professionals. In 2015, the National Center on Elder Abuse reported that 9.5% of elderly people will encounter some form of abuse. This represents a 20% increase in elder abuse over the past 15 years. Studies also recognize that these reports only capture a fraction of the abuse that actually occurs, just a tip of the iceberg. Abuse occurs every minute of every day, and it occurs in every community. Child abuse occurs in every economic, racial, ethnic, religious, or other demographic group. No segment of our society is immune. An incident of abuse or allegation of abuse or inappropriate interaction with the vulnerable sector could lead to huge loss and has devastating impact on the victim, their family and their friends, and the community at large. And if within the context of a business or organization, loss of revenue and reputation and potentially huge liability costs. Plan to Protect is committed to providing a plan to protect for all organizations servicing the vulnerable sector globally. Child and youth and vulnerable adult servicing organizations are now encouraged to demonstrate a duty of care to preventing abuse. Plan to Protect reflects this duty of care and recognizes the following standard of protection. 1. A statement of policy. 2. A definition of abuse. 3. Screening of staff and volunteers that are in leadership or engaged with the vulnerable sector. 4. Operational procedures, such as social networking, off-site trips, appropriate touch, discipline and prohibiting corporal punishment, retention of documentation, and health and safety guidelines. 5. Premise modifications or alterations of your facilities. 6. Orientation and refresher trainings. 7. Reporting and response abuse protocols. In the past 20 years, the issue of abuse has surfaced and is now the most single important liability facing insurance companies in North America. Many insurance companies have adopted this same standard and requirement to secure abuse coverage. From hands-on experience and qualitative and quantitative research, Plan to Protect estimates that 70 to 85% of existing organizations are at medium to high risk of incident or allegations, whether that be substantiated or wrongful allegations occurring. Plan to Protect's implementation package provides the tools, training, and certification to help such organizations successfully complete the audit and address the gaps to demonstrating duty of care and to minimize the risk of abuse from occurring.